At this point, you guys, we can only look out for ourselves and our family. Of course, share our wealth of knowledge with one another to try to support and help each other right now. But right now is not the time to be loyal to a particular company. You've got to go where they're going to pay you. Hi friends, welcome to Moms and Money, where we talk about making money, managing money, and saving money for the women in the household. All right, my friends, today we are talking about the recession. I feel like everybody's talking about it these days, and I really definitely wanted to bring my 2 cents in and what I'm doing to prepare for the recession that's to come, and just to kind of explain, if you're not up to date, about what is going on. First of all, let's talk about what a recession actually is. Everybody keeps using the word, but sometimes for people who are not in the finance world, it can be confusing. So I'm gonna read to you what the definition of a recession is. A recession is a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in the GDP, which is gross domestic product, in 2 successive quarters. Okay, so basically it's like some people are losing their jobs, you don't have access to overtime anymore, obviously the cost of everything is going up. Okay, and the main indication of a recession is inflation, and I know everybody's been hearing that word lately. Here's the economic definition of inflation. It's a general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. Okay, so obviously we see how much gas is. That's a product of inflation. It is crazy, and I don't think it's ever been this high in the history of the United States, for one. For two, the cost of food and groceries, you can easily see it. Even if you don't grocery shop all the time, you can go in there and easily see how much everything costs you. So basically, with the combination of the recession going on and inflation, your purchasing power is it's diminishing. Okay, so basically, if a dollar got you this far maybe a year ago, now it's probably going to get you this far. And that's really sad, you know? And it's really nothing we can do as an average person. What can we do to combat these things? There's nothing that we can do on a large scale. Like, we have no control over the interest rates. We have no control over inflation. We have no control over the recession, but what we do have control over is our own personal finance. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, to try to prep you financially for this recession that is to come. The number one thing you can do during a recession is to pay down high interest rate debt. Okay, so your credit card debt needs to go down, because see, the number one thing that the Federal Reserve does to combat inflation is to raise interest rates. And they just raised the interest rates by 75 basis points, which is 0.75, which they haven't done this big of an interest increase since the 90s. Okay, so that's huge. I mean, mortgage rates are going up, car loans are gonna go up, your credit card interest rate is gonna go up. So the best thing that you can do is pay that down before these interest rates increase, because you're gonna be paying more to borrow the money. So banks are paying more to borrow money from the Federal Reserve. That means you're going to be paying more to borrow money. So the number one thing you can do is pay down your debt before it gets more expensive as the interest rates continue to rise. Because I'll just be honest with you, I think the interest rates are going to continue to rise well into 2022, early 2023. Like I said, these things that I'm sharing are the things that you can do that are in your control to try to combat this. Like I said, the number one thing you could do is pay down your consumer debt, credit card debt, any kind of debt you can do, just pay it down if it's possible in your budget. The number two thing you can do is to beef up your emergency fund. I know a lot of Dave Ramsey followers and just personal finance in general, usually the rule for emergency funds are 3 to 6 months of emergency savings just in case you need it. I would beef it up to 6 to 9 months, even 12 months if you can handle it. And I know that's a lot. And I know that because everything's so expensive, our purchasing power is low, we don't have a lot of extra cash right now to put at your emergency fund. But I would make the sacrifices that you need to do in order to beef up that emergency fund to at least a minimum 6 months. If you could do 9 months, great. If you can do 12 months, that's even better. But if you could have a minimum of 6 months, you're good to go, because at this point with the recession, you just don't know what can happen with your job. So at the end of the day, try to beef up your emergency fund if you can. Number 3, Don't make any risky investments or drastic financial changes right now if you can help it. So is now the time to invest in like kind of sketchy cryptocurrency? Absolutely not. You know, you want to hold on to what you can and only invest in stable things right now, because it's just too risky to make any drastic changes to your finances right now. You don't want to make any drastic financial decisions. I know the real estate market is hot right now. It is crazy. You may be tempted to sell your home and downsize or buy something else, but I'm telling you right now, stay put. If you do not have to buy a home right now, don't buy a home. These are historical prices right now, okay? And do I think it's gonna stay this way? Absolutely not, it's gonna drop. But unfortunately, what's happening in the real estate market is that Wall Street's buying the majority of these houses. And when they buy these houses, they are going to be rental houses probably forever. I can't see them just holding on to it and then selling it later on. They're gonna keep these rental properties forever. They're gonna turn them into rental properties. So if you are in the market to buy a home, and I'm praying for you because I know it's hard right now, but please don't make any kind of drastic changes like buying a home or buying a car right now is really hard unless you had it like in the plans or something like that. Try not to make any drastic changes that don't have to be made right now financially to prepare for this up and coming recession. Number 4, okay? If you have the extra funds right now, let's say you have the 6 months of emergency fund, and let's say you have, you know, a little bit of extra cash, you're doing your budgeting every month, which by the way, if you're not budgeting, what are you doing? You got it like on top of everything. Of course, stay on top of your budget. You have to adjust your budget for these inflated prices. Definitely do that. You can download my free zero-based budget in the description box, or you could purchase some of my printables if you're a pen and person type of budgeter. And I have a whole playlist on budgeting here on this channel. So definitely check that out, because budgeting is key right now. You've got to get in there and make sure you're adjusting for these inflated prices in your budget. But let's say you're doing all these things and you feel comfortable right now and you do have a little bit of extra cash, definitely invest it. You can see right now that the stock market is just going down. It's drowning right now. Literally, as soon as the Federal Reserve announced that they are raising interest rates, the stock market started plummeting, okay? And as an investor, it's scary. But is it a great time to get in there and start buying some stocks? Absolutely. Now's the time to, if you have the extra money, to put it into your target fund retirement date. Okay, I don't want to be a day trader, and I'm sure most of you guys don't want to be a day trader either. You know, so it's kind of risky trying to go in and just buying individual stocks. The easiest thing you can do is just to purchase certain index funds. I have a whole affordable course all about my investment strategy, what I share that works for me for long term. If you're interested in that, the link for that is in the description box. But if you have the extra money, of course, keep investing in your 401k. Of course, keep investing in your target fund index funds or whatever index funds you want to invest in. Put that money in there, because you're going to buy the stocks at a discounted price at this time. Because honestly, with this recession, it just means that since we all have less purchasing power right now, we're not going to go out and buy all these extra things. So when we don't buy these extra things, the companies and the revenue starts dropping, and it's just like this vicious circles, because as our living expenses continue to increase, that's the gas, that's the groceries, everything like that, costs for companies are increasing as well. And so then they pass those price increases upon us, then we're paying more for certain things. And so that's why the stock market starts declining. It's just like this vicious circle. So in order for the Federal Reserve to try to combat that, they have to increase interest rates. That's the only way to control inflation. And so I know it sounds confusing, but here's the thing, you guys. We can only do what we have control over, which is our personal finance, navigating through this. So that's why I'm sharing these tips. Okay, and the last thing that you can do right now to prepare for a recession is to start a side hustle. You guys know I love talking about side hustles over here on this channel. Side hustles are so important, especially right now if you're in the middle of a recession. Because if you're just relying on one source of income, you're putting yourself and your family at risk. Unfortunately, that's the reality of things. And I'm not saying it's easy that you can snap your fingers and start making a whole bunch of money with a side hustle. Absolutely not. But is it possible to start making a few extra $100 a month? Absolutely, it's possible. I have a list of my favorite side hustles in the description box. I have several videos about different side hustles you could start as women, the best side hustles for women this year. Go check some of those out. Step into whatever you're passionate about and try to monetize that, because at this point, like I said, relying on one source of income is scary, okay, and it's risky. So start that side hustle. On top of starting that side hustle, you definitely want to keep your resume beefed up, because at this time, nobody's job is secure. Nobody's job is indefinite. You know, at any point in time, these companies can start making pay cuts or job cuts at a time to just keep afloat during this recession. So you definitely want to keep your resume up to date, and you definitely want to just keep your eyes open for any opportunities for you to better yourself, because at this point, you guys, we can only look out for ourselves and our family right now. Of course, share our wealth of knowledge with one another to try to support and help each other right now. But right now is not the time to be loyal to a particular company. You've got to go where they're going to pay you. Okay, so if there's an opportunity that comes up, definitely try it. Try to go out for it. Try to interview for it. Start your side hustle so that you have more than one stream of income, and then you can move on from there. So that's it, my friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. And leave a comment down below and let me know, what are you gonna do during this recession to help you and your family financially? Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.